One of the strangest problems people deal with is feeling guilty when they rest. They finally sit down, they stop working, they take a break. But instead of feeling calm, they feel uncomfortable. Their body is still, but their mind is not. It starts saying things like, "You should be doing something. You're wasting time. You haven't done enough yet. You can rest later." So even rest becomes stressful. And that creates a difficult cycle. You work until you're tired, but when you try to recover, you can't fully relax because guilt enters the room. A lot of people live like this without realizing how damaging it is. They have trained themselves to believe that rest must be earned, that slowing down is laziness, that being still means falling behind. So they stay busy even when they are exhausted, and over time, they lose the ability to rest without anxiety. That is a serious problem because rest is not a reward, it is a requirement. Your mind needs recovery. Your body needs recovery. Your emotions need recovery. And without it, everything gets harder. Your patience gets shorter. Your focus gets weaker. Your motivation drops. Small tasks start to feel heavy, not because you are failing, but because you are running on empty. The truth is, many people are not bad at discipline. They are bad at recovery. They know how to push, how to continue, how to ignore tiredness, how to keep going when they should pause, but they do not know how to stop without feeling guilty. And that guilt often comes from identity. If your worth has become tied to productivity, then rest feels threatening, because when you stop doing, you start asking yourself, who am I if I am not producing? Am I still valuable if I'm not being useful right now? That is the deeper issue. Rest becomes uncomfortable when your self-worth depends too much on output. So the solution is not only to rest more, it is to change the meaning of rest. Rest is not weakness. It is maintenance. It is not proof that you are lazy. It is proof that you are human. And human beings are not machines. You cannot always be on. You cannot always be effective. You cannot always be mentally sharp. There must be rhythm, effort and recovery, movement and pause, work and restoration. That rhythm is what keeps a life sustainable. Another important truth is this: real rest is not mindless distraction. A lot of people stop working, but they do not truly rest. They scroll, they consume, they distract themselves, and sometimes that helps for a moment, but it does not always restore them, because real rest is not only about stopping activity, it is about reducing pressure, mental pressure, emotional pressure, sensory pressure. Sometimes what you need is quiet, stillness, sleep, a walk, prayer, silence, a moment where nothing is being demanded from you. That kind of rest heals differently. It actually returns something to you. So if you feel guilty when you rest, pause and ask yourself, what did I learn to believe about slowing down? Did you learn that rest is only allowed after exhaustion? Did you learn that being productive makes you worthy? Did you learn that stopping means falling behind? Because many adults are living by rules they never consciously chose, and those rules are burning them out. Another powerful shift is this: stop waiting until your body forces you to rest, because that is how many people live. They ignore the early signs, the tiredness, the irritation, the heaviness, the lack of focus. They keep going until they crash, and then they call that rest. But that is not healthy rest. That is collapse. Healthy rest happens before collapse. It happens while you still have enough self-awareness to notice what you need. That takes maturity, because it means respecting your limits before you reach them completely. And yes, it may feel uncomfortable at first. You may still hear that inner voice saying, you should be doing more. Let it speak, but do not obey it every time, because not every voice in your head is wise. Some voices are just old pressure speaking in a familiar tone. You do not need to fight that voice dramatically. You just need to answer it differently. You can say, I have done enough for today. I need this pause. Rest is part of the process. I am allowed to recover. These simple thoughts matter because they create a healthier inner world, and that inner world shapes everything: your energy, your work, your peace, your ability to keep going without resenting your own life. Finally, remember this: a well rested person is not less disciplined, they are more sustainable. They think more clearly, they respond more calmly, they work with more focus, they live with more balance. So, if rest makes you feel guilty, do not immediately assume the guilt is correct. Sometimes guilt is just what it feels like to break an unhealthy pattern, and that pattern needs to be broken because you do not need to earn every breath, every pause, every quiet moment. Some things are not luxuries, they are part of being alive, and rest is one of them.